The 805 Focus is brought to you in part by Nonprofit Connect. Nonprofit Connect provides superior leadership tools and resources so nonprofit leaders and board members can make valuable decisions to move their organization forward to a sustainable and vibrant future. More information on services online at nonprofitconnect.org.
Welcome to 805 Focus. I'm Dr. Cinder Sinclair with Nonprofit Connect, and we will be bringing you the latest on your favorite nonprofits. So get ready to be inspired. Our special guest today is JJ McLeod, and JJ is Director of Education with Santa Barbara Zoo. Welcome, JJ.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Oh, yes. And I know that the zoo has quite an education program, and you're in charge of all of it.
Yes.
So you've got a lot to tell us. I can hardly wait.
Oh my goodness. Well, first of all, it's a true dream job. Let me just first say that I, as a former teacher in the district, I've been in education a long time, but stepping into the zoo and realizing how much amazing work there is in advocacy and different avenues to partner with different educational facilities and other museums. It's just been an absolute dream.
Oh gosh, so how long have you been with the zoo?
I've been with the zoo for 6 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
And a teacher before. Perfect.
Yeah, I think so.
Great opportunity for them too, to have you.
Yeah, honestly, it's been great. I got to learn a lot about zoos and the work that they do. And our programs revolve around children primarily because they're our main demographic. But the wonderful thing is that every guest that walks through our zoo, so we're about 450,000 guests a year, we are trying to educate them on the important work that AZA zoos do. And so having even just a tiny bit to do with that is quite a responsibility and something that I absolutely love doing.
So that's the idea of educating all the guests, regardless of their age, is sort of behind the scenes, but what the guests see is like what's on the sign and so tell us how that is manifested.
Yeah, definitely. So interpretation, the way that we present the information to our guests, so that goes for all of our staff, our keepers, all of our volunteers and docents. The way that we present ourselves and the way we speak to our guests about our animal welfare, about our conservation programs, even just the information on the signs, we really want them to connect them to those animals and their wild counterparts. And so that's really at the forefront of what we do, is that we want people to come in and obviously have the best fun experience seeing these wonderful exotic and endangered species, but we want them to leave knowing how to care for them and how they can make an impact. And I think that's so important because we're doing that with so many children coming through our programs, but it's really neat when you see a family of parents and of different generations really connect to our mission.
Oh gosh, yeah. So educating all of the different ages and so that they understand, like even all the conservation that you're doing behind the scenes, they understand how you're taking care of the animals in captivity. Yeah,
in human care, definitely. It's one of those things where, there are so many zoos. There are over 10,000 across North America, but only about 236, I believe, right now are accredited by AZA, which is the Association of Zoos and Aquariums, which means that we have that stamp of the best animal care and welfare. We are constantly giving back to conservation organizations and to try and help their wild counterparts. Being a part of AZA is a very big, special accrediting body that we fully believe in their mission to help connect people to nature. And so being a part of that is phenomenal, and the Santa Barbara Zoo is a gorgeous place with amazing staff that the animals are very well taken care of.
That is a jewel in our community.
Yes.
A lot of communities have zoos, but 236 only are accredited with the American Zoo.
Yeah.
What is it? American Zoo?
The Association of Zoos and Aquariums.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Association
No, it's great.
of Zoos
Yeah.
and Aquariums.
Yeah.
Out of 4,000.
10,000.
10,000.
Yeah. It's great. It's one of those things where
That's
then,
amazing.
Telling people, you should look before you go to a zoo and see if they have, they're meeting all the welfare standards, because it's so important to care for the animals in a correct way, that we're providing them different choice and different opportunities. And our animal care team is top notch. Our conservation team is top notch. I mean, our entire organization really does prioritize, every department, every staff member, every animal, and it's pretty unique. So to be involved with that. And so, people always ask what it's like working at a zoo, and it's, my morning meeting could be with an Amur leopard keeper, and then I can go to a social, media meeting, and then I can, come back and start strategic planning for our education departments. And sometimes I'll get called, my favorite days are, we need somebody to help walk the flamingos in at the end of the day, and I just get to be an extra body, watching them, and those are those aha moments of, wow, I have quite the job.
Yeah, I'd say. And so also interacting with all those children. So you work with a lot of schools, school children who come to the zoo. Do you go out and do education programs at the schools, or do you pretty much have them come?
Both.
Oh.
So the great thing is we see about 22 to 25,000 school groups a year come to the zoo on field trips.
22,000 groups.
Children. No children.
Children.
22,000 children come to the zoo with their school.
Okay.
And so they come on a field trip, and we try and provide them, curriculum before they come and after they come, so that we're really evaluating how they're learning, and it's how we really can plan for, continuing to be on that cutting edge of, of educating them and what they want, and up with their standards of school as well. And then we see, thousands of kids come through our internal programs. We have safari sleepovers where you can come spend the night at the zoo.
Oh, wow.
Tents on the hilltops, s'mores, you get behind the scenes
fun.
look. Yeah, families can come, scout groups can come. It's phenomenal. We have an outdoor education program, and we actually have the first outdoor licensed preschool in the state of California.
First outdoor licensed preschool in California.
Yes.
Holy cow, tell me about that.
Yeah, so it's called the Early Explorer program, and we are absolutely thrilled. So during the pandemic, we had an emergency waiver to have childcare, because we had already been caring for children in camps from ages 3 through 12, and so we realized that there was a shortage of childcare that was outside, that was appropriate, that was safe, and we realized that the community, they wanted it. They wanted it to stay. We had a 2-year wait list after the first day or the first week of opening registration. The zoo has really backed trying to start that, and we have a beautiful preschool down on our Cabrillo lawn right next to the African lions and the fennec foxes, with an ocean view, and we have preschoolers that are getting ready for kindergarten, that are connecting to nature, that are digging in the dirt, that are just hopefully becoming really confident learners, lifelong learners, and so we are very proud of that program.
That is so great.
Yeah.
So
really excited.
Preschool. So does that happen every day?
Every day. Yeah. Every day of the school year, including summer. 8 to 5, and it's a tuition based, just like any other preschool. We have a preschool director. We have fully licensed and credentialed teachers there with their early childhood development classes, and it's phenomenal. It's kind of a dream to see these kids get ready for school at our facility. Yeah, it's great.
And your background as being a teacher really helps with that, I have no doubt.
Yeah, our staff is so dynamic. We have, I'm a former teacher. We have another former teacher who runs all of our formal programming. We have a biology, major and former EMT running a lot of other programs as our education manager, and a lot of really dedicated staff that make up our education department and our entire zoo. So, Yeah, I like to say I kind of work with a dream team, that we all work different ways, but we come together and we're running some pretty phenomenal programs.
It sure sounds like it.
And it takes a village, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
It's not at the zoo. It's not one person. It's we are all doing something that collectively comes together, and it's really beautiful when it works.
Yeah. So I'll bet. What did you say? 425,000 visitors.
Yeah, we're in between about 450 and 500,000 guests a year. Yeah.
So a year. So I'll bet you most of those people have no idea. They might know a little tiny education piece, but they have no idea all of the education, all the conservation, all of the programs that are going on at the zoo.
Well, and I hope they do.
Yeah.
Well, and I hope after they leave, they have a better understanding.
Yes.
So, yeah, and we do go off-site, and we go into other schools and go give talks. We're also an affiliate with the North American Association for Environmental Education, called NAAEE, and so we get to go and kind of be a part of this bigger environmental education group that's across the North America, and it's just wonderful, like the amount of partnerships. And then we partner with UCSB in their engineering department. And so they come and they make prototypes of our animals for us and then donate them so that our volunteers, docents, and our education programs can use them. I mean, we have so much going on, and it's so amazing when you see people connect the dots that we are more than a zoo. We are more than coming and looking at animals. We are true conservationists. We are true leaders in the science field and caring for animals and education, and we're a true education resource for the school districts as well.
That's clear.
Yeah.
And I'll bet, you working with so many families and young people, educating them about this, that, and the other thing, I bet you've got a story you could share with us.
Oh, yes. Well, I want to say, one of my, I guess, the biggest moment in my career thus far has been at the zoo, has been working at the zoo. And the zoo in 2018 became the first zoo on the West Coast and the second in North America to be an autism certified center.
Really?
So what that means is through the international board, they have given us the stamp of approval because 80% of our staff has taken autism training. We went above and beyond, and they take that regularly. And we went above and beyond, and we changed our map, and we designated quieter spaces so that parents can identify low sensory areas. We have a social narrative on our website that is a preview of what kids and adults might see to really calm them down before their trip, so that they know some animals might be sleeping, some might be awake. Giving those priming techniques are really, really big. And we've partnered with UCSB, the Autism Center, and they come and we do autism safari nights where we give the parents a break, and we have well-trained staff in our Discovery Pavilion. We turn our Discovery Pavilion into a sensory, Disneyland essentially, a sensory play space where the kids think that this night is all about them. But really it's about those parents outside that, are navigating quite a journey of parenting a child with autism. I know that. I have a child myself on the spectrum, so it kind of hit home with me to try and make sure that everything that we do has a diversity and inclusion lens from the ground up. And so that, watching people realize that the zoo supports them and supports the disability community and the autism community has been quite the highlight for me.
Gosh, I'll bet.
Yeah.
So I'll bet there are a lot of other zoos who want to come and learn from you. How do you do that?
Well, the great thing about being a part of AZA is that there's a diversity committee, and we get to sit in on these conferences, and you would be surprised at how many AZA zoos have been thinking about this, have credentials, have their staff go through neurodiversity and autism training. Yes, we were the first on the West Coast to get this stamp of approval, but it's really, really wonderful to see AZA and our other, organizations across America and internationally really prioritize the need for the development of programs to have a diversity lens on it.
That is great.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your website a minute.
Yeah.
So somebody goes on the website, they can find out all about the education programs, the camps, the preschool, all of these things on your website.
On our website. Yeah, everything is there. You can always call us as well and just ask for a certain department or a certain question. But yeah, all the information's up on the website.
And so membership programs, does a person have to be a member in order to be able to access some of those programs like the preschool or the autism?
Yeah, so no, you don't have to be a member. However, being a member at our zoo is something that we love our members. We have a very dedicated group of members. Some come every single day. We see the regulars, and they walk the zoo with their kids in the morning, and we know a lot of their faces that show up almost daily. But a little or a portion of your membership goes straight into conservation work. The Santa Barbara Zoo is a true nonprofit, as you know, that's what you're highlighting today. And so every single ticket membership really goes into, like we were talking about, the education programs, conservation work, animal welfare. It all gets thrown back into these wonderful, wonderful missions and our values. And so, but being a member, you get, like last night, we threw a wonderful members night with a live band and bounce houses and snow cone trucks, but also all of our events and programs. There's a member discount, and you get a once a week. You get a news update. You get new animals. You get invited to certain things, and so being a member at the zoo. I mean, I went to zoo camp when I was 3. We've been members, for a very long time, and it's just really fun to be a part of that community. And I hope our community thinks that as well. I hope they walk away and just say, like, we love our Santa Barbara Zoo, because we really, really do try our very hardest to, invite people into a space that is fun.
That comes through loud and clear. I think Wednesday nights. So we've been going on Wednesday nights. It's called After Hours or something like that, and that's really fun.
Yeah.
And the food is great, and the music is great, and the setting is great, of course. But the thing that is just so much fun is watching all of these little kids.
Yes.
I don't know, 4 years old, 5 years old, some are even younger than that. I saw somebody that was probably 1 year old. Trying to figure out how to use her feet. And so they run around and they dance to the music, and it's the sweetest thing you'd ever want to see.
Yeah. No, those late nights are so fun because the zoo, even though some of our animals are sleeping at that time,
true.
Opening up that big hilltop for families to come as another place in our community that is beautiful, that we can meet friends at, and it's that vibe of really feeling like we are at the center of what Santa Barbara embodies, which is, family. And, obviously the setting and seeing the ocean doesn't hurt, Santa Barbara, but it's all about community, and it's all about inviting people in where they know that they belong.
Yeah. And so, so we're still at your website.
Yes.
So now people have found out all about the education programs and the camps and all that stuff. And while they're there, they could push that donate now button and make a financial donation, right?
They certainly can. Yes, and our advancement department is just top notch, but our donors are so important to us. We have a lot of different programs. We have a foster feeder program, which you can become a foster feeder to a certain animal, and you help feed that animal for that year, and you get a little plush, and you get updates on them, and it's really, really fun. But yeah, we rely on our donors to ensure that we are keeping up with that welfare, and all these wonderful experiences. And being in Santa Barbara, we have one of the best communities, and they show up for us. Yeah.
And they can figure out, they can sign up to be a member online.
Yeah.
And let's see. So I think you use volunteers. They can find out about that as well.
Yes, that's on our website as well. And we love our volunteers and docents. We have keeper aides that are usually shadowing keepers to help them, gain hours before they become a keeper. Our docents, we've had a very loyal group of docents be with us for quite some time now, and they're sometimes the most guest-facing people and staff at our zoo. You know, they stand at exhibits and they're really trying for that interpretation and to teach everyone about our mission and about the cool animals that are usually standing right behind them. And so we love them. And yes, all the information, and we need them. We love having them around. And so we have teen volunteer opportunities, we have family volunteer opportunities, and that's all on our website as well.
Yeah, and so you probably do training as well of volunteers. If somebody wants to volunteer, but I don't know anything about animals, or you train them.
Yeah, I mean, I was a high school teacher before I went to the zoo, and I thought the same thing. You know, I'm like, oh my goodness, do I have to where's the book where I memorize all these animals? And you would not believe how fast it comes to you and how much you learn in a very quick time. But yes, there is certainly wonderful trainings with our animal care staff, with our conservation staff, with our education staff, before you just get, let loose.
Yeah, so a volunteer would get to, sample all of that. Oh, JJ, thank you so much for all the great work that you're doing. That's just benefiting our whole community.
Thank you so much, and thanks for having us. I mean, all we want to do is share this out with the world, Yes,
well, thank you for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
And thank you for joining us on 805 Focus, and we'll see you next time.